Well, that's good that you get to be here today because, we're working on yours first. Also, thank you, Nugget, for subscribing for 3 months in a row. You were the best. Hey, Nugget, what's going on? Thanks for the resub. You the best. We're gonna preemptively choose a color because I'm probably gonna end up doing like a pink or a red or something for the light, so. How's everybody doing tonight? Tired and I don't know? Yeah. Feels like it's kind of been that kind of week, you know? Kind of. No, did this fill in like that? Just fix that line real quick. Alright, yeah, that makes everything a whole lot easier. What do we got? For hair. There. I was actually relatively productive today because this is the first day I haven't been passed out all afternoon in a while. I rearranged my office a little bit. I'm much happier with it, and I have space for another display cabinet, which would be really good because I have too many things crammed into too many cabinets. So now I'll have a little extra room. That one there. Feel stuck because I started a drawing that I should finish, but I've lost motivation to finish it. Honestly, I've had a bunch of those. Like, that's not an abnormal thing, I guess. But it sucks when it happens, because you feel like you put so much... I don't know, you feel like you put so much of yourself into the thing, and then don't finish it, and it feels weird to not finish it. So I get that. You're hungover af because my shot worm... After my shot worm stream last night? Since I passed out at approximately 11 o'clock last night, what is a shot worm stream? Because that sounds awesome. This music seems fitting. I don't know why. Greetings, Aubriel. How you doing? What's going on? Coloring some stuff today. 65, please. Thank you. I gotta seriously get back into doing more stuff with you guys. I haven't set up a multiplayer stream in a while. We were doing Saturdays, we were playing Jackbox games, but I just never got back into it after Christmas. Are you stuck at a particular part in the artwork that maybe that's why you're, I don't know, maybe that's why you're slowing down a little bit? Also, I should have started at the top of this thing. Back to that. Let's, That way, as I work downward... Not a valid JPEG marker? If I start from the bottom and work, if I start from the top and work down, then I can just paint over everything. That's probably a better way to handle it. We already started. No. We'll jump around a little bit, smearing colors as we go. Oh, hey, Mage, what's going on? What's going on? Reading, nice and relaxing? Hey, there you go. We'll fight each other in worms and take a shot whenever one of our worms dies. That sounds incredible. I love that game. Worms is a great game. I get that too, Nugget, that, like, you know, if you feel like you're... I feel like I do that a lot with, like, independent developers. Like, anytime I've ever worked for an indie developer, it ended up not... It didn't just not work out, it, like, seriously didn't work out, and I just lost motivation for their projects really fast, and life happened or something, and I feel like I drop out on independent developers all the time. Like, I get feeling like you do something a lot and feeling bad about it. It sucks. Not a fun feeling. Sure. Gotcha, tough angles you're not used to. Maybe you could try, doing something with, like, angles you're more used to, and then coming back to the one that you're struggling with. You know, don't shelf it completely, but also don't, like, take more than a week to come back to it kind of thing. If that makes sense? Like, maybe, like, tomorrow, do like, one thing that you're comfortable with that's not a hard angle, and then, like, go back to the hard angle another day? You know, tomorrow do something fun, and then the day after, that Tuesday, go back to this one that's giving you trouble. Doing some work before you take a break to game. Hey, sounds good, man. Good plan. Yeah, because the worst thing you ever want to do to yourself is burn yourself out. That's where that lack of motivation comes from. You get burned out on something, especially if it's hard. And if you're trying a new angle, then yeah, I can see how you're getting burned out on that one a little bit. I tend to get burned out on stuff pretty quick when I'm doing something I haven't done before. That even... Not placed because it is unknown or invalid JPEG marker type? Oh, they maybe they were PNGs before. Weird. Weirdly specific error. Interesting. I gotta take some pictures of my my office now that I rearranged it, because it looks pretty cool. I also may or may not have ordered a lot of Quagsire stuff on eBay yesterday, So I was looking at my cabinet going, wow, I literally have no fucking room for any more stuff in these cabinets. I should probably get another one. So that may be something that happened. So sometime this week, if I can, probably over the weekend, because I don't think I'm gonna get there during the day. I think there's gonna be traffic, but I'll, you know, scootle on over to IKEA and grab some stuff. Bags are the best. No room, no, not too much stuff. Oh, it's amazing. Well, so what happened, the way my room, my office space is arranged, I had originally placed the furniture so that I could put a couch in. Because the plan was to have the room is shaped like this, and there's one of those little accordion closets right here, and then the doorway. The plan was to put the computer setup here, there's a window here, and then I was going to put the display cabinets here, and then put in like a couch. But the room's a lot smaller in person than it looks like it is on the diagram, so I didn't have space for the couch because really the room comes down like this. Like the couch would be like right up against my desk. And then the accordion closet's much smaller than it looks like it is. So I ended up not having room for the couch. So instead what I did was I moved the bookshelf here, and I'm gonna put the 3 display cabinets here, and then here. It gives me a little more space for stuff, and I can now have a 3rd display cabinet, so most of my junk isn't all crammed into 2 of them, because right now they're pretty well piled in there. You know. Hey, yeah. Hey, Jace. What's going on? Welcome. So, yeah. So one of the days, you know, this week, probably on Saturday, if I can do it then. In fact, I think one of my coworkers was talking about doing something on Saturday. So if I'm up by her, I can just go to the IKEA and pick up the cabinet and the light that on Saturday. So I'll have to wait till the weekend because I'll never get there during work hours, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah. No room? Not too much stuff. Yep. I have too much stuff, that's the problem. I'm gonna copy some of the grays off of this. I don't think I'm gonna make the armor exactly the same as that. Grab some of the gray colors off of there at least. I'm thinking tonight might be laying down flat. So, I'm gonna lay down all the flat colors on this, and then we'll hop over to Mage's piece and throw some color in there, and then we'll go over to the deer, the deer hyena, and throw some colors in on him, and then, I'll have to do, maybe Tuesday's stream we'll focus on finishing these up, because, I don't have the files. I can't find my flash drive. I think I may have left it at work on Tuesday when I was, like, too sick to realize what was going on, and I just kind of packed up and left. So, if I can't find my flash drive tonight, I'll have to check at work tomorrow, and then we'll see what we're doing next once I figure out what happened to the flash drive, because I have a more finished version of the raccoon fox somewhere else. Hey, Ernest, what's going on? How's your art coming along? Darker. Are her ears darker than this dark color? Or are they supposed to be the same color? Oh, either way. Yeah, angles seem to be everybody's difficulty. That's because angles are a pain in the neck. Okay. It's just because in this piece, it looks like the ears are darker. But on the other one, they look like they're the same color. So, just so I know for sure, one way or the other. This one doesn't seem to have totally accurate colors, so maybe I shouldn't reference that one as much, and that's more like a style reference, but just so I know for sure. Let's grab our... I wish you could, like, reset the defaults on these, though. It would default to be 50 across the board. It doesn't. Pretty lame, I would say. Oh, not. Darker color anyway. Like I got the idea in my head, but it's not translating to my hand. Oh, that's like the worst. That's like the worst feeling in the world. I hate when that happens. Because you're right, you know exactly what it is that you're trying to do, and you're in your head, you're like, yeah, this makes sense. It's easy. But your brain is just like hands are like, no. Everything teaches how to draw people from the front, but not so much from the back. Yeah. Actually, let me see if, I tried to do it on... By the way, is the new, now playing ticker working correctly? It's gonna freak out because I'm about to open Proco, but it looks like it's working correctly, so... Let me see if, You're right, a lot of tutorials don't show you how to draw the head from the back. There's an artist on YouTube called Proco, and he has a really good video on drawing human heads. But I don't see a version of that tutorial where, I don't see a version of that tutorial that shows... line I would have been doing. Why is this line here? What you're supposed to be, and I don't know why you're here. But his videos are only from like extreme forward angles, like head tilted up and whatever. And like that's it. There's no back view on his channel, so I don't it's a hard angle regardless. The pic with the dragon is the more accurate one. Okay. So she's a little bit lighter colored. Seems. Just there. I'll have to recolor the hair, but eyes too. Actually, we'll just undo the hair. We'll just not adjust that one. I was hoping to just adjust it so that I wouldn't have to do this, but... like the front of the head has the chin, which kind of helps you separate the head from the neck, but the back of the head, hard, like, to tell where the neck ends and the head begins, and what's the shape that would even look like. Oh, that's right. Your characters are all lizards. So I guess a tutorial on humans would not be very useful to you, huh? Hey, Benethert, what's going on? Come. Out. Okay, let's get, open up heavy armor to look at. I don't really want to make the colors exactly the same as the, I don't want to make the colors exactly the same as the picture with the dragon, but sort of going that direction, so let's see if I can find something to reference. Even Guild Wars in its superior art style still does the boob armor thing. Before. Although it is mostly silvers. I kind of like the red on her though, so let's make the fabric part here like red. Unless you have another color you'd rather this part be. Have any thoughts, go for it. I'm doing pretty good. I feel great today. I finally got to sleep in like 2 days in a row, and it's just been nice. I feel so much better. I feel alert My sinus infection is clearing up. I think I caught it right at the end. Like, I think by the time I was like, fuck it, I have to go to a doctor, I was already starting to, like, get out of it, but... Yep. That's true. Well, I couldn't find a tutorial for human hair, or for human faces from that angle, so... Sorry. I find there's a lot of really good tutorials for head angles and stuff, though, on, like, DeviantArt. If you can find the references before getting to the porn, that's a great website to find references. The trouble is trying to get to the stuff you want before the stuff you don't want. Because DeviantArt is a cesspit. Just the worst kind of place. Yeah, there we go. I like it. I think that looks great. I just didn't want to totally color it the same as the armor from the piece with the dragon, because it's not the same armor, but I needed to look up some other references on where to put colors and stuff. DeviantArt is DeviantArt, yep. Basically. Such a garbage website. I don't even know why I still use it. I don't even really use it that much. Like, if I have to upload something to it, I will, but for the most part, I try not to. Or I just don't. And I just forget. Oh, I erased her thumb. That's what that random-ass line was. Thumb. Mysterious line. Identified. Oh, I'm glad you like her so far. I was hoping I was doing your character justice. I always hope that, though. I was really excited when, the way Rusty, identified it, you know, described her to me. It was like, you know, she said she wants heavy armor and a big hammer, and I just immediately, I was like, I want her leaping into battle from the background. Just, that was like, the very first thing, just the way he worded it was really simple, but it just immediately, I was like, she has a big hammer. Okay, I can work with that. Big hammer, got it. And then I saw the picture of her with the dragon, and I was like, oh yeah, that looks like it fits. Got some Skyrim shenanigans in there. Yeah, no, Nugget, you're totally right, though. Drawing, like, reptile heads from the back is hard, because they don't have any kind of hair to, like, cover it up. And even your creatures that have, like, a crest on their head, even that doesn't go down far enough to, like, count. Alright. Let's color her hammer in, and... game the object. It's gonna give me... I don't want right shape, but it's got the right colors, so... blip. I pasted them into this document. Interesting. Good choice by me. I gotta get myself back into the groove of uploading things to YouTube, because it's so easy, but I keep forgetting to do it. Yeah, like, I finish streaming and I go right to bed, and then I'm like, nope, I should have done the thing. I should have uploaded them to YouTube, but no, I didn't. So a lot of these videos haven't been archived yet. I gotta do it before they disappear. I like the way the title cards look, but I hate making them. Ooh. Double giant hammer. Never a bad time for a giant hammer. I love the art style that these characters are in, by the way. It adds like a fun, like, classic Looney Tunes looking style to it. I don't know, or something like that. I don't know. I enjoy the style of this artwork. Got the giant hammer across the back of it, of course. All right, one complete. I'm gonna saturate this ever so slightly, because I appreciate the dull character, but like the dull colors on this character, but I like to draw with slightly brighter colors, so I'm gonna just saturate him a little bit. I won't go full fox brightness. I like the pattern on his arms. Kind of unique. Missed a spot. Who or what should you art? That's a good question. Hey, Briar, what's going on? I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? Arting with pencil and paper so I can also watch stream and my lead just keeps breaking. Oh, that's the worst. Is it a regular pencil or is it a mechanical pencil? Really busy with the start of the new term, but things are starting to slow down. Awesome. I'm glad you're back. I figured a lot of you guys stopped coming to the streams because school started. So, you know, I totally was, like, not surprised that the viewer count slowed down a little bit, if that makes sense. Because I did notice that less people were coming to the stream, but it was one of those things, like, I knew school had just started for a lot of you, so I wasn't, like, upset about it. I was like, yeah, alright. Yeah, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't like when the regular pencils get dull either. Like a line on his face? That? I noticed the other piece of artwork had some kind of weird, like... had some kind of markings next to his nose. Yeah, like, that doesn't look accurate to the... that doesn't look accurate to the character sheet. Hey, Daniel, what's going on? Welcome. Had to get things done. Finally finished the paperwork for all my emotional support animals, so he should be coming up within the week. That's awesome! Ah, congratulations. Oh, it's not the same character. I was Fox, and then my brain went, yes. Also Fox. Well, that explains why the markings are so different. Not the same. Not the same Fox. That would do it. I know it looks... I know this color is darker and browner on the character, but for contrast purposes, I'm gonna go a little bit lighter. Oh, it's a new design. Okay. That makes sense. I am to assume this character sheet is the correct version of him, then. Like, I'm pretty sure it is, I just... Now I feel like I should make sure. I'm doing pretty good. I feel much better today. I've slept in pretty much all weekend, and I feel less sick. So, yeah, I'm doing much better today. Thank you for asking. I'm gonna try out a small school of Pearl Danios for Jack's tank. Hopefully things go well. Yeah, cool! Yeah, hopefully that works out. Steve finally got a worm today. Very proud of him. He was being an idiot and finally got it. It took him like 20 minutes to figure out where it was, but he got it eventually. That poor worm just spent the whole time flailing around trying to figure out why it was drowning. And Steve's like looking at it like, what's that? It looked like a food. But what is it? I was surprised he didn't just stick it in his mouth, but he poked it with his nose and kicked it and was like all over it and couldn't decide if he wanted to eat it or not, and finally he went for it. But Steve hasn't quite figured out the concept of earthworms yet. That he does not really understand. That goes all the way up to his elbow, or to his shoulder. No, it is his elbow. Goes up a little higher, at least. I'm looking to see if I'm allowed to have another tank, because I need to move the snails and shrimp to another tank. If I can't, I'll rehome them. Jack prefers picking at the floating duckweed and ignoring his actual food. He went after a pellet immediately. There was no hesitation on the pellets, but he hasn't quite figured out that the worms are also edible, and it's surprising to me that because he's not picky and he just bites everything. But it did take him a little bit to figure out that the worm was something he could eat. I'm sure it's probably pretty weird to him that they move, because his food doesn't usually squirm around. Oh, hi Kaya Bug Boy. How's it going? Rookie sent you here? That's, the fox, right? Rookie's the fox? I don't remember everybody's names. Oh, wild Kaya. I was talking about my axolotl, yeah. He's getting or not bloodworms. He's getting earthworms for the first time in his life, and he is not he's 5 years old, so he has spent 5 years of his life eating pellets, and he is just now getting earthworms for the first time, and he has absolutely no idea what to do with them. He's very confused. Do they cost a ton where you live? Mine wasn't that expensive. I found a local breeder, and he didn't sell, it wasn't too much money. That was nice. You said burgundy for this? I think. Let me open up the email real quick on my other computer just to confirm what I was reading. Axolotls are awesome. I have one and he's such a derp. Oh, I'm going to end up cutting. I'm gonna have to cut up my bloodworms. They're so small already, but Jack ends up sucking the insides out and leaving the outside of the worm just to float. Oh god, that sounds disgusting. Oh god, that sounds so gross. Steve totally murderized a worm the other day because he would not eat it. He kept sucking it in and then spitting it back out, and I finally had to take it from him. And I looked in the container a little while later, and the worm was, like, busted in 3 places and was, like, dying. So he must have crushed it sometime in his enthusiasm, but... Back in my country, it was expensive, but now I'm in Singapore and they're pretty much illegal. They're illegal in California in the States, too, which is sad because I'm sure one day I will end up moving to California for a job, because a lot of art jobs are in California, so I imagine I will end up there eventually. But that's... it. I just have the one. I didn't want to mess with having 2 because I heard that they could be very, cannibalistic. I heard that they would eat one another, not necessarily because they went, oh, I'm gonna eat this, but more because they said, oh, something, you know, the axolotl's going, oh, something's moving, I'm gonna put it in my mouth and see if it's food, and then it usually ends up being the other axolotl. So I didn't get 2 because I heard that they might cannibalize one another, but it ended up not being a big deal. Hey, Sully! Welcome. Yeah, I stopped by for a little bit, but I was getting ready for the stream, so I didn't stick around for too long, but because I was making dinner, but stopped by and watched for a little while. Oh, hey, Misfit! How's it going? Ah, so many friends tonight. My wife has a tiger pleco that got mad at some tiger barbs in his tank, and he hit them with his tail so hard it flew out of the tank and landed in your bed. Jesus. I think the California laws that prevent accidental release of the pets into the ecosystem. Yeah, in California, there's a wild species of salamander. They're tiger salamanders, I believe, is the one that's in California. But if you release axolotls into the ecosystem, they can crossbreed and will basically destroy the current population of tiger salamanders by forming crossbreeds, was what I read. Like, it makes it hard for them to breed into a natural tiger salamander because they're mixing with everything else. Thing is like, axolotls are so stupid. They just are so dumb that it's definitely not for, like, you know, they would destroy the ecosystem like an invasive species. It's just that they would also breed with everything. They're just so, they're not smart enough to cause any ecosystem damage. I get it. It just, you know, sad because axolotls are great. And are the best. I also just realized I never colored his eye. Oh, what color are Rookie's eyes? Because it's really hard to tell in this picture what color his eyes are. That's probably why I didn't do it, to be honest. Blue? You got it. Also, hi. Oh, I gotta scroll up. I missed some stuff. Have I ever considered doing freelance? I have thought about it. Yes, I've actually done freelance before too. It's okay. It's not stable income though. And you spend a lot of time looking for jobs. And what's been nice about the job I have now is that I have a stable income. My paycheck is the same every week. And that's really convenient. So yes, I have considered freelance, but not that hard. I like having the office environment because it gives me somewhere to, like, you know, to go. But yeah, I've thought about it, certainly. Same thing in Singapore law, probably kind of sad to have them all. I had to leave all my tarantulas and leopard gecko behind. Aw. Yeah, that sucks having to leave a pet behind. Yeah, Kaya, anytime axolotls feel that they are not safe in the water that they're in, they will basically lose the neotenic trait in favor of survival, so they will pull those flappy gills back inside their body and just become an adult salamander. It only happens if their water quality is really low, and it can happen to captive axolotls, actually. If you don't give them good enough water, they will become adult salamanders. That's how Burmese pythons got into the Everglades. I went on a trip to talk to one of the wildlife wardens about the problem. That's pretty cool. So many people. Lots of friends. You had to make a Twitch just for this? Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you went through the arduous process of making a Twitch just so you could be here to watch. Watch me work on your fox. Yes, hi everyone. Make his eyes pink? Is that what you're telling me to do? There you go. Oh. Now he's pink. Would an axolotl maturing affect its age anyway? No. Axolotls have a... For those of you who don't know what about the trait, it's a trait called neotenic, and it basically forces their body to not mature past a certain stage of their development. An axolotl is exactly what a baby salamander looks like, but instead of pulling the gills in and becoming semi-amphibious, becoming amphibious, they don't pull their gills in, and they stay the way they are, and they just become bigger infants. Like, imagine you had, like, a human toddler. Think like Boss Baby, the movie Boss Baby. Like, you have a human infant, and they just become a taller... Like, imagine, like, a 5-foot human toddler that speaks like an 18-year-old. That's an axolotl. They're just a large infant. And as far as I know, anyway, that is, like, the extent of my understanding of Neotenic. But, so they would still be, like... So mine, I mean, he looks like a several-month-old salamander, just big, but he's 5 years old. So if he were to mature into a salamander, he would just be a salamander. He would be a 5-year-old salamander still. That movie. Yeah, just think Boss Baby. That weird-ass movie that I heard wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was gonna be, but was still pretty whack. Want the brown cloak. You got it, friend. Neotenic? It's, Let me look it up, because I always forget how to spell it. Neoteny. I don't know if Neotenic is the, like, correct version of it, but yeah, it's, the adults of a species retain the child traits. I think it can happen in other species too, but I don't know for sure. I have heard that, but I don't know how true it is. I have never really looked into what other species can have that trait. It's pretty rare that axolotls are so uncomfortable in captivity that they become adult salamanders, to be honest. Like, if that's not a super common occurrence. But that's why they're endangered in the wild, because the only place that they are ever naturally found is, I believe, 2 lakes in Mexico, and one of those lakes got built on top of to make Mexico City. So the only place you can still find them naturally is in, like, one lake in New Mexico. So in the wild, they're super endangered, but in captivity, they're incredibly common. Does that happen with dogs too? Interesting. Oh, that makes sense. That humans do it on purpose. The other thing about axolotls is that they can regenerate limbs if they lose any parts of their body, so that's why they're bred so much in captivity, because scientists want to study them for their regenerative I just pronounced that wrong. Their regeneration abilities. My axolotl actually has, you can tell it's a grown limb. He has one of the toes on his left front leg is, like, weirdly deformed because he lost it at some point when he was a baby and it grew back in funny. And so he's got this one, like, pinky toe that's, like, slightly longer than the rest of his body. Like, the rest of his toes. Like, you can totally see it. He also has a misshapen gill. One of his gills has a weird little growth on the end of it, and I have no clue where it came from. I assume that at some point he must have nicked it on something and it tried to, like, heal and didn't really heal the right way. Because it's got this funny little, like, curly-Q on the end. I'm trying the earthworms, hoping that his gills will grow their feathers back, though, because I miss his little frillies, but he lost them at some point. I don't know. One day I was looking at pictures of him from, like, 5 years ago, and I was like, wow, his gills were way bigger back then. What the heck happened? Like, it was such a slow decline of the size of his gills that I never even noticed. Jack is regrowing his feeler that was bitten off at the pet store. Oh, that's awesome. I guess some fish can regrow stuff, too. Oh, yeah, there's tons of other colors. There's a really cool one. There's this one called an Enigma axolotl. There's like hardly any in existence. But they come in all these crazy morphs because they're like a specialty breed. How cool they are. They've got, like, these gold spots on them, but they've got the... They must be some sort of, like, hybrid, because they've got the pink gills of the cystic axolotls, but they've got the black and gold of the wild type, so they must be some kind of hybrid. But they're very cool looking. Axolotls come in a bunch of different colors. They're pretty fun. Watching him touch things with the feelers is adorable. I love watching, I loved watching my dad's, our hermit crabs. Whenever they would, like, touch things with their little touch stumps. Like, they have little hands. They're hysterical. Like, it's like, they're, so, if you've never seen a hermit crab feeler, they come out from under the eye stalks like this, but then they've got this little, like, hand on the end, so when they touch things, they, like, extend it and just, like, they just touch, you know, with that little stump. And it's just really funny. It's like a little hand. It might sound like a monster, but would removing the toe now help it regrow properly, like re-breaking a bone to reset it? Maybe. Certainly is a possibility. It doesn't seem like it affects him in any way, so I would leave it alone, but, I don't know. That's a good question. Ricky's being savage. He likes to come up to where I'm watching him and press his little feelers up against the glass, almost like little hands. Oh, that's awesome. My, cat and shrimp have met each other, recently, and it's, probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Because my cat's not super interested in going into the tank. Like, she doesn't chase the fish or anything, but she looks at them. And, at one point, she climbed up onto the TV stand and was looking at the fish, and the cleaner shrimp was all up against the glass, like, rubbing its face all over everything, like, it was so excited. That little shrimp loved everybody. I don't think it even realizes what it's doing, it's just that shrimp gets excited about people being in front of the tank. Shrimp have really big personalities for being such small animals, to be honest. Your dude has the hatchet, but where's the round shield? Oh. Good question. Nobody told me about a round shield, and so there's no round shield. Guess we should make the boots like this. Phoebe. I like how your animals have, like, real names. Like Phoebe and Jack. Like, my shrimp's name is Taxi. That's her name. Her name is Taxi. Her name is Taxi, and she's a derp. I tend to like all the Viking things. Viking things are awesome. Never be sorry about liking Viking things. I don't know how I feel about that gray, but we're gonna put it in there for now and come back to it. Don't know what you're doing, just put it in and come back to it. You'll notice if you don't like it later. Okay, let's do your hatchet real quick. One of these pictures is of the hatchet. That one. Pro tip from me. Don't ever make things harder than they need to be. You need to just copy a color right out of a picture, you do it. Otherwise, I would sit here for 16 years trying to pick a color for this handle. I'm gonna make that a little darker and a little brown. That's the beauty of digital. You can always change it later if you don't like it. The other two shrimp are Jam and Souffle. Souffle is a great name. I also quite enjoy Jam, but Souffle is pretty good. One of my favorite thing that, like, shrimp do is, I was feeding the tank the one day, and I was just watching my shrimp swim along the surface of the water, and they, like, walk on the underside of the water, and it's weird. But, she was, like, hastily shoving food into her mouth to the point that there were just, like, pieces of, food pellet just sticking out of the space under her eyes because her face was so full of food. And vice versa, sometimes when I throw the shrimp pellets in there, like the algae pellets in there, my clownfish tries to go after them, and then she just looks hysterical because she's just running around the tank with this big giant piece of algae pellet in her mouth, and it just does not fit in her mouth. But gosh darn it, that clownfish is gonna do her best. She's just trying her best. You mentioned having a shrimp. Yeah, I have a saltwater tank also. It's separate from the axolotl tank. It's not the same enclosure because axolotls are freshwater. So I have a small 20-gallon saltwater tank, and I have a couple shrimp and clownfish. Somewhere. Probably not recent ones, though. I have a cleaner shrimp, though. I'll show you guys what a shrimp looks like. One of these cute little nubbins. Look at him going. Look at him cleaning. I watched my shrimp do that to my clownfish once, and she was not having it. My first cleaner shrimp, Bus, I watched him standing on the rock, and he like lunged off the rock at my clownfish. And for those of you who have never heard me tell stories about my clownfish, the female clownfish is an asshole. She is like the worst kind of person. And so when that shrimp jumped off the rock and just wrapped all of his legs around her body, she was like done. She was like not having it. She was so mad. It was great. My frog's name is Skyla, or Sissy for short. I used to have a sister named Charabitis, or Kari. Kari got jealous of Sissy and overate herself to death trying to starve her. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Mine are freshwater dwarf shrimp. Not the same, but similar in look. Crayfish are more like lobsters. In appearance, anyway. They're more like lobsters in appearance. Crayfish are really cool, but they're illegal in a lot of states. Or at least they're illegal in Pennsylvania. We could never keep them in Pennsylvania. Heard of a yabbies? Oh yeah, they're like a little, yeah, they're like a blue crayfish. They're pretty cool. Charybdis. Oh, reference to the Iliad. That makes sense. Okay, I gotcha. My cleaner shrimp is... she's probably like 1.5 to 2 inches long at this point. She has really big antennae, though. Her little feelers are... it's fun to watch them brush them, because they, like, take their little front, like, grabby hands and just, like, rub them like a cat rubs their ears. Like, she just, like, brushes them like a mustache. It's great. Your dwarf cleaner shrimp is maybe 1/2 inch at most. Yeah, yours sound like they're really tiny. Cleaner shrimp get pretty big. The cleaner shrimp I had before Taxi, he was huge. He was probably 2.5 inches from, like, the tip of his little nose to the end of his tail. He was really big. He was so friendly, too. He was a good shrimp. He failed to molt, at one point, and that's why he died. And then I actually rescued Taxi a little bit. A friend of mine had has a pet store, and he had Taxi for sale, and she had a big parasite on her side, and so I took her home and removed the parasite, and she's pretty good now, all things considered. The little hands rubbing their faces. They're so great. Pets are so good and pure. Even the little ones you would think are like dumb. Even those are good. I was really sad though when I went home for Christmas. My my hermit crabs wouldn't let me pick them up, and I was really sad about it. They are living in like the ultimate setup, so they were like super comfy in their little tree, and I couldn't pick them up. Every time I tried to grab one of them, even the really friendly ones, they would like cling on and just not let me pick them up. So we gave up on that dream pretty quick. In case any of you were curious, the reason I started from the top and worked down is so that I wouldn't have to worry about, like, in these areas, like down here when I color his wing in, I can just color over her backpack, and then I'll just fill in the backpack when because right now I'm gonna color over a little bit. I did that on purpose. I always start, I start with the first carrot, like I started with her first, because it made sense to start with her first from a line art standpoint, and then I just automatically went, I'm gonna go back to doing Misfit, and nope. Not the smartest plan. we had one hermit crab, the biggest one. Her name was Blue. She'll take walnuts right out of your hands. If you give her walnuts, she'll pick them right up. She won't hesitate. The next biggest one was a really dark colored one named Finn, and Finn was super friendly. But Finn was always funny because anytime you picked him up, he wouldn't be like scared and go into his shell the first time you picked him up. He would like immediately start crawling around on your hands and just checking you out and touching you with his little stumps. And at one point, he climbed up my shoulder and went around my back and like sat in my hoodie. Like he was always on like an adventure. You know, we always said Blue was going on an adventure, or Finn was going on an adventure. I don't know, he was like the climber, you know, he was not afraid of anything, he just wanted to climb. He must have gotten into a fight with one of the other hermit crabs at one point, though, because he lost one of his little touchy feelers. And it was really funny when it started to grow back in, because he had one little touch feeler that was, like, normal size, but then the other one was, like, real tiny. And it was great, because he had, like, the little hermit crab eyes. So he had, like, this one little, like, miniature feeler that was awesome. It is because I liked you the best. That's absolutely why I started with you. Definitely. Definitely why. Don't let me lie to you. Don't let me lie to you like that. Do land hermit crabs need salt water to drink? I remember a guy telling me that at the pet expo. Land hermit crabs need the salt water to clean themselves, I believe, was what we, I don't think they drink it. I think they like bathe in it. Because our hermit crabs have a little dish full of salt water. They have a small dish of salt water and then a big dish of, fresh water. So they drink the fresh water, but I think they use the salt water to, like, clean out their, like, their, like, organs and stuff. Again, I haven't actually dealt with my hermit crab. It was one of those things where, like, that's what I was, you know, we just knew to get salt water for them. I actually don't know why they need them. Okay. A very strange reference. Is one of these references more accurate than the other ones also, as far as the color goes? Because I noticed on this one... Oh, he's got the dark on top. Let's see. Never mind. Gonna ask a dumb question, but... I answered my own dumb question. I think he's got a little bit of light color. Actually, the biggest killer of hermit crabs in captivity is not having enough soil. A lot of kids who get hermit crabs as pets keep them in those little critter keepers, and you can't get more than like an inch at most of soil, and they need several inches of soil so they can dig down into the soil and molt. And if they don't have somewhere safe to go to molt, a lot of the times they die during the molting process, and so if you don't give them enough space to feel safe, then they just die. That's one of the biggest reasons. There's a whole lot of other reasons. Like, a lot of people, for some reason, have this impression that you don't have to feed hermit crabs, and I don't know where that myth came about, but you absolutely do have to feed hermit crabs. And that's like 80% of the fun of having a hermit crab, is that they will eat literally anything. Like, they will even pick the dirt off your fingers. They will, like, clean the dead skin out from under your fingernails. They will eat literally anything. Your betta fish eats right from your hand. Wow. Jack isn't there yet. Yeah, Briar. Yeah, exactly what Briar said. Yeah, improper enclosures. You fed your cucumber when I had a bunch. Yeah, well, it's good that you had a bunch of them. Hermit crabs, despite their name, do really well in colonies. They like to have friends. Hey, stop sign. Hey, that's okay. You guys got homework and stuff. That's all right. I understand. If ever you don't come to the stream right away, I always assume that you were doing something else. You had something else to attend to. But I'm glad you came for a little while. Sand will work also. Sand is fine for them as well. We did a mixture of sand and soil. I believe soil is better, but you can do sand. I think soil is better because it doesn't retain water the same way. Like, sand, when it retains water, it gets really dense. And I don't believe that that soil does it the same. It's a little bit of a substrate thing that I'm not totally familiar with, but yeah, I never trust pet stores for proper research on stuff unless it's like a specialty pet store. Like, I would never trust somebody at like Petco or PetSmart for advice on pets. I would trust somebody at like a local fish store, you know, somebody who has dedicated their life to one specific type of animal, but not to a big generic pet store. Or work. Yeah, you guys have work or school. It's all kind of like work anyway. Ah, s'mores. I love s'mores. Have you noticed a trend? I just really like sugar a lot. I have a real problem with sugar, to be honest. S'mores are so good. The professor brought his dog to the lab the other night. An Alaskan Husky named... I was about to say Italian Husky, and then I realized that is not a thing, and I don't know why the word Italian went into my mouth. An Alaskan Husky, and his name is Peptide Bonds, because your professor's a dork. That sounds amazing. You can't always trust Google either, but at least with Google, you're more likely to find, like, sources and... People always give, like, Google and Wikipedia and stuff a hard time, but honest to God, the internet is such a good place to find information. And the only reason people don't usually trust things like Wikipedia is because people can edit Wikipedia. And I think the sort of thing that a lot of schools that are like, you can't use Wikipedia, I think what they don't realize is that Wikipedia has a extensive staff to prevent that kind of thing. So you could go into the Albert Einstein page and be like, you know, Albert Einstein was obsessed with hermit crabs and had 600 hermit crabs. The somebody at Wikipedia is gonna go, yeah, you don't have a source for that, so we're gonna remove that piece of information that you just put at the end of this document, okay? That... just on his fingers, I think, right? Is that correct? Looks like just the finger feathers are the ones with the black on them. I need help. We were talking about hermit crabs, and then I don't know why Albert Einstein came into my head, and then both of those things went together. So... I don't know where that thought came, but that's my brain. Just the forefoot. Okay. Always do your own research and then find trustworthy keepers to ask questions. Yep. Exactly. I did all of my research for saltwater stuff ahead of time, and then learned a bunch of stuff from the, oh, you know what this is? Oh no, it changes sides. Does this matter that it's going left to right instead of right to left? Does it matter that's coming over his right shoulder? Not a big deal. Now you want an hermit crab named Albert Einstein? Yes. You should get a whole bunch of hermit crabs and name them after, like, various historical figures like that. Like, get a Stephen Hawking. And, like, a Bill Gates. Just all these great minds. He's a very fluffy owl. I enjoy this owl quite a bit. I also just realized I forgot to do buckle. I noticed YouTube Shuffle hasn't fucked up yet today. I had been using an outside website to shuffle our playlist, but the ticker that I made for the bottom doesn't support that website, so I had to do the shuffle through YouTube, and it's not the worst thing ever yet. I forgot his belt, too. Oh, you know why I forgot his belt? Because I had his legs the other direction the first time. I had him with his butt facing us, and then I realized it looked stupid, so I fixed it. But never added the belt. Just do that real quick. Rosalind Franklin? Yes. Northern whiteface owl. You can now find out because I put it as a ticker on the bottom of the screen. So at the in the bottom of the video, where it says new followers and everything, it should say the name of the current song. Assuming I didn't fuck it up. I think I know what that is, but I'm gonna look it up anyway for everyone's benefit. Oh yeah, these guys? They're so cool. Yeah, they can make themselves all skinny and all. Oh yeah, why hasn't that changed? Ticker, please. Actually, no. There it goes. Is better. The ticker's a little broken, so sometimes it takes a minute to reset. Also, hi, Midge. Glad you finished your obnoxious math homework. I should have considered that coloring 4 characters was going to take a very long time, but not occurred to me that it would take as long as it's taking. That's okay. We'll figure it out. Luckily, Mage's character does not have as many extensive colors, so maybe I can do that with the last half hour. So many friends in chat today. Glad you guys could come. Good discussion about various fish and animals. Slightly larger brush, please. I have to recalibrate my stupid tablet. Just does not want to grab colors sometimes. The pet talk might have something to do with it? Yes. Yeah, Kip was talking about that. I'm not opposed to it. That would be kind of fun. I didn't get a chance to read through all the comments because a lot of stuff happened while I was sleeping, but yeah. Oh yeah, for anybody, yep. There's your Discord. Axolotl's got your back. Yeah, if any of you guys are interested in the Discord, there you go. We like having friends. Talk a lot about things and stuff. You may join the Axie Stack if you so choose. Grab a random scroll. Hate that color, and I can't remember what color scrolls are. Is it yellow? That was my biggest pet peeve with communal laundry rooms, was that, like, people who would just leave their shit and not, like, do anything with it. There was one time I went down to do laundry when I lived in an apartment that had a communal laundry facility, that somebody had their laundry in all of the dryers for, like, 3 hours, and I finally took all of it out and just put it on the floor in the lobby, because I was like, okay, well, we've had enough of this today, so... people joining the Axie Stack. Hey, you are always... We always like more friends in the Axie Stack. Alright. Back to Mouse Friend. I've never really, like, as much as I'm into, like, world building and character creation and stuff, I've never really gotten a chance to play Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder or anything like that. So I'm hoping, I don't know. I'm not that great at improv, so I feel like I'd be really nervous about it, but maybe it's just something I need to get used to. I've never really done it, so I don't know what to expect, you know? I need people, time, attention span to learn all the things. Yeah. Yeah, another streamer that I follow, Volpine Arts, she was talking about if I ever, because we live really close to one another, so she was talking about if I ever come up to visit her, we should do D&D, and I was like, there was like 75% of me that was like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome, but there was like that little like 25% self-doubt portion of me that was like, but what if it's hard? You know, like, I've never done it before, so I was like excited but also nervous about the idea of doing Dungeons and Dragons with somebody. You know, more excited than nervous, but there's still that little part of me that's anxious 24/7, so but it would be fun. Even on Discord it'd be fun. The other thing is though, like anytime anybody wants to get me into D&D, like they show me like the book and all like the math and stuff, and I'm like, oh, there's so much information. Not good at all the stat things either. Numbers are not my friend. My character would probably die purely because I'm not good at math. That's where your bird character comes from? Awesome. Ah! A Cass! The Sushi Mobile has rolled up to the party. What up, Sushi Mobile? Oh. Friends. We may or may not be getting raided. I think we are. I think that's the Sushi Mobile. I have to do math. Yeah. 24/7. Frick. Math? Dang it. So many people. Cass always comes and raids us after her streams. I can never beat her to it. There was that one time that I tried, and then it resulted in a loop of hosting, and it was unpopular opinion, math is fun. I'm not saying math can't be fun. I'm saying I'm not good at it. There's a difference between math being fun and me not being able to do it. Some math is fun. That was a weird... Yeah, we killed Twitch for like a hot second. That was great. Twitch was like, what the fuck are you even doing? It was like the infinite host loop. Your channel was offline, but mine was hosting your channel, so it still thought your channel was online. It was like hosting your offline page or something, but I was still there. You just couldn't see my desktop anymore. It was beautiful. That was a good time. I'm glad that happened. Math makes my thinker box hurt. No, you know what makes my thinker box hurt? Anybody who just joined the Discord, have yourself a look-see at that video I posted like an hour ago, because fucking Christ, that hurt my brain. Everything about that just made me sad. Alright, see you later, guys. Sorry you burned up your internet to watch me, but I hope you enjoyed it. We got a cleric in our group now, so we can actually heal. That's a good start. Alright, let's look up, I may or may not have based your backpack off the script. So. Again, I was told giant backpack, and I went script burglar. Done. Well, except his backpack's more of a, his backpack's more of a barrel strapped to his back, but that's alright. Skrit are actually awesome. Skrit shinies! Yes. Oh, I love Skrit. They're so great. Cute birds always have your attention. Hey, Dyer, what's going on? There's a cute burb. I learned him already, though. Now we're looking at Mouse Friend. And slightly less cute Skrit Friend. But still pretty cute, I would say. Jesus, you guys, like, murdered your packages just to be here. That's... I don't know if I should be, like... Don't worry about it. Don't come to my streams then. It's okay. Or if I should be, like, honored that you destroyed everything in order to see me. Nah, you're fine. You come whenever you feel like it. I never expect you guys to be here. If I have a night where only 3 people show up, then that's fine. We hang out with 3 people. Sometimes it's a party, and sometimes it's a small party. Sometimes it is a smaller than usual party. I'm gonna put some bottle. I'm gonna put some colors on these bottles, because I suddenly don't really like the idea of having the colors be... Yeah, you guys are you guys are good to me. Everybody always apologizes when they're late. And I'm over here like, I'm glad one person showed up. I'm grateful when a single person comes to my stream, so... You know, it makes me extra excited when all of you get here. Or like, you know, the majority of you. I know this isn't the whole Axie Stack, but we're pretty darn close. I think we're pretty well up there. And then let's do a blue one. One thing I do sometimes, if I don't have a specific color for like an object on somebody's, like in this case on a backpack, or if a character has jewelry on and I don't have a specific color in mind for the jewelry, I'll grab colors from other parts of the scene. So this works. The green's kind of random, but like the red's the same as her. And the green is just like an extra pop of color, I would say, but... Oh, hey, Vulpine! Hey, you made it! Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see where we're at. I can do ivory bottles if you would prefer that. Maybe the green one can be ivory? Actually, that looks pretty good, because then the green is not so jarring. Because otherwise that green's the only green in the scene, so... We'll do one ivory bottle. How's that? Sometimes it's a party, sometimes it's a small party. That's me. Vulpine, oh yeah, Vulpine's probably very excited that it's a fox, yep. Foxes are good and pure. See you later, Daniel. Glad you could come around for a little while. See you around the Twitches. Yeah, I think the green to ivory is a good color palette swap there. Fox power! Heck yeah! That is the same color as the backpack. I am gonna edit those shoulder colors in a minute. I'm not that happy with them now that I've put this other color on here. Actually, they might be alright. Well, I think at least if we didn't get to anything else, I took a big chunk out of this commission. Got some time left. I'm gonna erase this. Technically, that's the bottom of the skirt, but I think it's down too low. But if I scoot it up any higher, it's gonna be weird, so I'm just gonna remove it. don't know. I don't really know why I put that in there in the first place, but no. Goodbye. Farewell. Nautica gets a full release on the 23rd. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Finally, we can go back to that game. I really, really enjoyed Subnautica when it was out, but I couldn't deal with the bugs. See you later, Stop Sign. Glad you could stop by for a little bit. We'll see you around. I'm gonna get some colors down real quick just to get a start, and then we will adjust colors as I go, I think, because I don't know how I feel about these colors, but until I get that pink base color out of there, I don't think we're gonna fully understand what these colors look like. So let me finish coloring it, and then we can edit colors, because I don't know how I feel about the shoulder pads yet, but they might look okay with everything else filled in, so one step at a time. It's not perfect, but it runs a whole lot smoother. The bugs aren't nearly as bad. It wasn't too bad at the beginning, and there was a small period sometime in, like, September or October last year that I just wanted to hurt myself. It was so hard to do anything because you kept getting, like, anywhere you turned, it was like you were stuck in a wall, or you were stuck, you know, in wherever. Like, you were just constantly getting stuck in places, and I got annoyed, so I stopped playing. Rare? Like that a little better. You think the shoulder pads work? Oh, yeah, as I'm filling them in, they're starting to work a little better. I kind of like them a little more. In fact, let's make them also the bracer colors. And, yeah. This is, what's your new name? Rusty Dagger Alliance, formerly known as Missile Bomb, and that's still the name of your... Then I gotta fix that. But it's Rusty's and Misfit. This is Misfit's character. Name is also Misfit. The people whose characters are in this piece are, were in the chat a little while ago, but a couple of them had to run away because of data issues, so... You know. Friends that can only stay so long because they are trying their best. Yeah, maybe like a warm color for a lizard. More like a monitor kind of color. Just use our regular pants colors. H. Sorry, I just went like total focus mode trying to get that colored in. Like, I was suddenly thinking about colors. I do okay when I'm talking and coloring at the same time when I'm like, when I'm just pulling colors off another document, but suddenly I was like having to think about colors, and I got really focused. So you lost me for a moment. I think it is a D&D party, isn't it? Correct me if I am wrong, but I believe that it is. Her armor. A lot of help in the tonal department, though. Blending in with the, let's not do lightness. Let's do... or saturation. Lightness instead of brightness, because brightness ups the saturation, too. Yes, though. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Alright, Cass, thanks for raiding. See you around. Try to catch you streaming tomorrow if you're streaming tomorrow. Finally spam the chat. All the gloriousness. Cass has the most glorious, Cass has the most glorious emote. It puts our emotes to shame, to be honest. It's, quite the meme, I would say. Swoosh rise. The swoosh rises. Well. That's on the line art layer. Rip. Was anything else on the line? Yeah, it was on the line art layer. Well, double rip. There we go. Now that should be on the correct layer. Yes, okay. Hey, one more thing. We're almost there, guys. Make some cheese. Yes, that's a great thing to do with your milk. Make cheese. Oh yeah, it's like a mouse character, yeah. She's a common field mouse, I think, Rusty told me. Now let's do her little throwing knives. Good to go. Grab the gold off her glasses and put that in there. I think I need to darken this color too. Otherwise it's gonna blend in with the coat. There we go. Cocoa. Yeah, you should go grocery shopping just so you can get cocoa. I had that trouble the other night. I was really craving like just a chocolate chip cookie, and I had run out of all of my dessert type items, and I was really sad about it. Blend them colors in there. Oh, wrong layer again. That's like the third time I made that mistake today. Hey. Hey, check us out. Doing a thing. A thing and a stuff. Pop that gray on. Yeah, contrast is looking pretty good, guys. Alright. So there they are. Beautiful. Marvelous. Oh, that's right, Jace. You're taking all your crazy pills and everything. That's unfortunate. Go on here. That fun line. Why is there a line? You see it? There's like a really faint pink line. I don't know why that was there, but I guess. Okay. So that's them. They're done. Well, they're not done. They're colored. They're done as in colored. So, yeah, 10 minutes. Next time I do this, which will be on Tuesday, we'll work on these guys and we'll try to get them, shaded up so this piece will be done. Let's slap some colors on a mage's character real quick. I got like 10 minutes. Let's see how long this takes me. Got all the white space. Yep, right. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that piece is coming out. That's the way. We gotta make the other. The character is unintentionally looks like a Fire Emblem character, and I changed a lot of things about the design to try to prevent it from looking too much like a Fire Emblem character, but I'm still using the Fire Emblem character for color reference because it's pretty darn close. So, yes and no. It is an accidental, almost the same character situation. Gotta figure out those. Yeah, it's just that the character happens to look like... Why is the opacity... Knock that shit off. Well, that was the reference I was given, so yes. I tried to change the outfit and the face shape a little bit so that it looks less like that character, but it is pretty close. You did get called out. It was an accident. I believe you that it was an accident. It wasn't even that I called you out on purpose, it was that everybody else already noticed. Hey, I'm not gonna pretend like that's the first time that's ever happened to anybody here. I mean, we had an entire stream where I tried to make my, Or lightless. I had an entire stream where I tried to make my fruit in the Jadoa world less like Pokemon fruit. Like Pokemon berries, because I made them too much like Pokemon berries because I'm stupid and accidentally referenced them in the back of my head. I don't know, somewhere in my brain I went, yeah, this is fine. What color does your character's... What color are your character's eyes, Mage? This picture reference, I can't see the eyes, which is probably a good thing. But, what color? This commission rush turned into me doing, like, one commission for, like, an hour. Silver. Going AFK for 10 will return shortly. Well, I'm gonna be done in 10, so... Take your time. You go and do you. Any particular colors you're feeling for the, outfit? Or do you want me to continue doing same as the Fire Emblem character? Or is that mostly just for appearance? It's like physical appearance and not so much color. It also doesn't help that I put your character right up next to the source material so I could grab colors off of it, so... Probably could have been a little sneakier about that. Oh, weird. Where'd this color palette come from? I don't know. You'll probably kill me for this, but you'll probably crucify me for not having played a Fire Emblem game, but I have never played a Fire Emblem game. I know of the characters, but I've just never played I've never played Fire Emblem. Never something I have done. Yeah, see you later. See you later, Rusty. Glad you could show up for a little while and hang out for most of the stream. Glad I could work on your stuff while you were here. Oh, show. Yeah, I can't go over by too much tonight because I've been sleeping in real late, so my sleep cycle's gonna be really fucked because I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna get like 12 hours of sleep, and I know I'm not. That's us. The Axie Stack is all about education on exotic animals, apparently. Have a good night. Glad you could stop by for a little bit. Next time I'm going to work on your guys' commissions is going to be Tuesday, I think. So, yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys then for some, Oh, God. You know what I just realized? Just occurred to me. Tomorrow is game night. And, I did select a game. I just had not considered which game that would be. Tomorrow, we are going to begin some Undertale shenanigans. Finally doing it. Finally buckling down and doing the thing. We are gonna do the Undertale thing, and I'm real excited. Because I was avoiding that game like the plague, because the fanbase is atrocious. The majority of the fanbase, I should say. Those of you in the Axie Stack who have told me that the game is good have not been complete monstrosities of human beings, so, you know, that's a good start. Sansy baby, yes, I'm gonna do it. Talk about like fish 80% of the time and think snowball from there. Hey, you know what? That's a good... There's gotta be some education, right? Don't let anybody tell you how to play, yep. You have been awakened. This is like Mage anytime you mention lizards. You mention lizards and Mage just appears out of the, you know, just like a ghost, just phases through the wall. Like, you mentioned my people? That's like me anytime you mention axolotls, though, too. I phase through the wall also. Hello. You had something to say about axolotls? Well, let me inform you about everything. Alright. You did hear lizards. I told you. Okay, speaking of Mage and lizards, it does look ridiculous. I'm really excited about it. How would you like me to handle the clothing situation? Would you like me to go for full rip-off and go for blue and tan, or would you like me to try something different? Are we embracing the fact that these characters look the same, or are we not embracing that the characters look the same? And actually, they don't look that different now. Mostly because I suck at drawing, guys. So... you know, I don't know if you could hear the finger snap, but I did the snapping point, so... We're running out of time, so I might not get to it tonight, but... Yes, I'm gonna be very careful with the chat when we play Undertale, because I know, some people like to tell you how to play games with multiple endings like that, but... Light me. I don't... Oh, more like white and gold instead of white and blue. That's a good point. Oh, 010, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Axie Stack. Appreciate it. Got the other computer, but let me look it up. White mage, but then he hits you in the face with light. There you go. Yeah, I see some different variants of it where it's like white and gold. Another Fire Emblem character, but I could do like a blue and red for this character. His original outfit that's really annoying to describe is a gray gold. Oh yeah, you guys are allowed to be excited about it, and you can help me if I ask for it. I'm not expecting you to, like, ruin it for me, because I know you guys are better than that. This character seems to have a lot of gold. You want me to try, like, a white and brown and gold on him and see how it looks? I can always change the colors if you don't like it. In fact, that's what I am gonna do. I'm gonna start with a color scheme more like this. I'm gonna go with, like, whites and golds and maybe, like, a dark brown color for the tunic part. And if you don't like it, we'll just switch to something else. We'll just do a different color scheme. The way I do color, it's really easy to adjust the color back if you don't like it. Now I can fill in the color with whatever you want. If I expand. I feel like that's gonna be a little too brown, I think. That's the game art? Yeah. You almost finished a piece of art, but it involves coloring 3 chickens, and you don't really want to. Why would you not want to color 3 chickens, first of all? I already don't like it. That way. Try red. I could just do blue. If you want to embrace it, we could do blue. Oh, you're new to coloring. Okay, that makes sense. That's a valid reason to not want to do the thing. I'm gonna do... do the coloring the weird way so that we can try a couple things, and here, except it's 10:01, so we're gonna have to stop for now. Oh, I just realized this is way. Dark blue is supposed to come out here. Then we can get some, Oh. X. I don't know how you're feeling about that. I don't know how I'm feeling about it either, so I'm not going to be very helpful. Well, we'll leave it at that for now. I'm happy with the color of the actual character, but we'll come back on Tuesday night. Maybe I'll start with this on Tuesday night. Tuesday night we'll start with mages, and we'll finish up the colors on this. We'll do the tufted deer. We'll get color on him. That shouldn't take too long. And then we'll loop back around to Missile Bomb and finish up that. So that's the plan for Tuesday, but tomorrow we're going to take the first steps into Undertale. I have to install that game. I have it. I just didn't install it. So, with that, I am going to head off to bed. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with me, everybody. I had a lot of fun chatting with everyone tonight. It was nice having a whole bunch of people here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And, yeah, have a good night or a good day. Rest of your day, good rest of your night, good whatever. And I hope you have a good day tomorrow. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Undertale. Alright. See you later, guys. Bye! Oh, actually, wait, before I bye. Wait, we didn't see if there's anybody to raid. I keep forgetting to find people to raid. Who we got? Anybody around? See if anybody's around. Nope, nobody is in the immediate vicinity. Alright. Then I'm just gonna run the title card and go to bed. Nobody I know is streaming, so... unless you guys have a suggestion? Anybody in chat have any suggestions if you guys want to go raid somebody? Or, any thoughts? Nah, I'm just gonna head to bed. Alright, see you later, guys. Bye!